The ranch was silent, the sun sinking low behind distant mesa cliffs, when a lone rider appeared on the dusty horizon, her silhouette small against the crimson sky. Inside the cabin, rancher Elijah Moore paused, heart pounding. He'd bought a deaf girl from her drunk father that morning, an act he feared he'd regret. But he waited now, breath caught like a prayer. Did she truly hear? Elijah Moore was a man of few words, hardened by years of forging a life in the unforgiving terrain of New Mexico's frontier. To the world, he was a stoic cowboy, master of 500 sprawling acres. But tonight, his chest heaved with doubt. Earlier that day, he had encountered a staggering scene in the dusty frontier town of Dusty Fork. A man named Jeb Coulter, face ravaged by whiskey and despair, had dragged his daughter, Anna, to the steps of the auction block. She would have been sold, along with cattle or corn, were it not for Elijah's intervention. He'd emptied his pocket money and bartered with Jeb until, finally, he handed Anna a small satchel of essentials and led her away. Jeb's bitter slurred words echoed in Elijah's mind. Can't hear nothing she says, what good's a girl who don't listen? Yet, as he rode her home, Elijah noticed Anna's eyes, clear, wide, and curious. There was depth there. She watched the world like a painting she longed to interpret. That evening, beneath a lantern's halo, Elijah's cabin held two strangers in uneasy silence. Anna sat at the well-worn table, clutching the satchel. Elijah poured hot tea. She touched the steam but made no sound. He pressed a finger to his lips, miming, listen. She nodded imperceptibly. He pushed a chair forward, motioned she sit. She complied. He offered bread, she ate. He lifted a drawing from his pocket, the open prairie, cattle lowing, the cabin nearby, his life. He slid the paper to Anna. She traced the pencil lines, and something softened in Elijah's eyes. He knew communication would be measured in gestures, in patience, in shared moments. Over the next weeks, Elijah and Anna adapted together. He taught her simple sign language, a few basics, borrowed from a wandering ranch hand, but Anna was a quick study. She acquired words like horse, water, work, moving her hands in fluid motion. At first, Elijah interpreted her thoughts, her amazement at the dawn, her delight at the horse's gentle nuzzles, her yearning to explore. He told her of his late wife, of how her laughter once echoed through these plains before she succumbed to fever. Anna watched him closely. She tapped his arm and signed words full of comfort, patting his heart, grief, then hope. Despite the harshness of the land, they discovered laughter together, chasing calves, mending fences, sharing dinner of stew and cornbread. Anna painted with leftover coal near the hearth, sketching the wide sky and the tiny cabin. Elijah sheltered her creations onto the wall. A gallery of love blooming amidst resilience. One evening, Elijah stirred oats by the fire when Anna froze at the cabin door. In the fading light, Jeb Coulter staggered onto the porch, trying to speak. His breath reeked of whiskey. He demanded his daughter back. Those satchel coins he'd snatched were billions in his ruined mind. He insisted Elijah return Anna. Elijah stood between Jeb and Anna, fierce. He knew that this broken father could pull Anna back into poverty or worse. Jeb spat abuse. But Anna stepped forward, silent, her hands trembling, then steady. She signed, Father, no. Stay. Her gestures spoke volumes, pleading, bound by love and fear. Elijah braced. She stays, he said softly, rounding on Jeb. Jeb, defeated, howled and stumbled away into the night. Anna collapsed into Elijah's arms. He rocked her gently. The danger had passed, but the wounds remained, confidence frayed, the past whispering in shadow. Months rolled on, and seasons changed. Anna planted seeds by the stream, learned to ride, worked alongside Elijah until dawn. Word had spread that she was deaf, but resilient, communicating by feeling the ground's vibrations and spending hours watching the herd. Locals doubted her contributions, but she proved herself daily. Elijah watched his ranch transform, not just under his care, but through Anna's gentle innovation. She sketched irrigation channels to conserve water. She painted marks on fence posts. She created simple tools to ease chores. Though she could not hear, she seemed guided by an inner melody, an empathy others envied. One afternoon, a rival rancher arrived, offering to buy the land cheap. He smirked at Anna's presence, leaning in toward Elijah. "You can't run a ranch with a deaf girl." He offered a bag of gold, expecting Elijah to sell. The ranch stood on the brink. Elijah glanced at Anna. She stood by the fence, patting a foal's neck. He saw her strength, in every bend of her wrist, in every measured sigh. He shook his head. "This land is where she belongs, and so do I." The rival sneered and left. Word spread, Elijah and Anna are unbreakable, spirits forged from dust and sunrise by winter's first snowfall. The ranch thrived. The cattle fattened, the well brimmed, and the cabin glowed with warmth. One night, as the wind howled across open fields, Anna stood by the window, watching. Something crackled behind her, the stove, the cattle in the barn, or was it? She paused. Her cheeks flushed. She touched the window pane and pressed her palm against her ear. A low hum, faint and strange. Elijah entered. She looked at him, eyes bright. She tapped on the window, then pointed to herself. He knelt beside her. She signed carefully. I think. I heard. He froze. She touched her ear again. Listened harder. She pressed her hand to Elijah's chest and tapped her own ear. He grasped her hand. Snapped his fingers softly. She blinked, startled. Yes, a response. She heard. Scratchy, muffled, unfamiliar, but real. Tears welled in Elijah's eyes. He pulled Anna into an embrace. Her lips curved in a tentative, wondrous smile. The world had leapt into her heart in the days that followed. Anna acclimated to sounds, cackling fire, sing-song creek, cowbells, Elijah's low laughter. She learned new sign words, sound, bird, laughter, music. She stood on the prairie inside midnight silence, then, for the first time, heard the high cry of an owl. She exhaled a gasp of marvel. Elijah watched his daughter, his equal, explore the world anew. They danced by firelight as music drifted through the crackling logs. Elijah whistled a lullaby his mother taught him. Anna cupped her ears. Then danced when spring arrived. Anna's transformation rippled through the nearby settlement. Townsfolk who once pitied her now greeted her with smiles. Children asked to learn sign language, elders inquired about her irrigation ideas. Ranchers sought her counsel. She was no longer the silent girl, she was Anna Moore, rancher, innovator, friend. Elijah stood aside as she led tours of the irrigated fields, animated on-site with gestures and occasional speech. His pride swelled. They had both faced hardship, Elijah's fear of emptiness, Anna's scarred childhood. But together they carved a home. This is a story of connection that transcends silence, about resilience, transformation, and finding family where least expected. Elijah and Anna teach us that love listens, even when it feels impossible, and that every soul can bloom with the right light and compassion. This tale touched your heart. Please like and subscribe to the Wild West Love Stories. Share your own stories of overcoming barriers and finding love in unexpected places. Turn on the bell to join our frontier family and never miss your next heartfelt adventure. Thank you for letting this story into your world. Until next time, may your days be filled with courage, hope, and love.